And when you wake up in the morning, before you start thinking about the things that you've got to do that you don't want to do, before you start remembering the injustices of yesterday or 10 years ago, before you remember that you're going to that place today to work that you really don't want to be, before your kids get up, before any of those things happen that challenge your sense of well-being, if you can get hold of that sense of well-being and just sustain it for a little bit with really general thoughts, because if you get specific, it usually doesn't work as well. Get into an attitude of appreciation and milk it for just a little bit. Law of attraction will help you out, because law of attraction says that that which is likened to itself is drawn. And law of attraction will give you, it's not really giving it to you, it's just the way it is. It's like gravity doesn't give you attachment to the planet. It just is. So law of attraction provides for you this consistent life experience. So to make it very clear and blunt, we like blunt, you have 17 seconds to sustain this thought and move it into something even more powerful. 17 seconds and another thought like it joins it. And there is power, manifestational power in that, crossing that 17-second mark, that most people don't know about, or when they wake up, they would make very sure that they stay there for 17 seconds. So if you find a good feeling thought, or better said, if you wake up and don't introduce a not good feeling thought, because when you wake up, there's no thought. During that time of slumber, you have stopped the momentum of all thought. That's really an important thing to understand. You don't know that mostly because you wake up and you start thinking so fast that you pick up your momentum right where you were and start it all over again. But when you slumber, momentum of thought stops. Law of attraction is suspended for you. Your point of attraction is no longer attracting. So when you wake up, you have a really good possibility of getting out of the bed on the right foot, getting out on the right side of the bed. These are your words. We don't like them very much, but we thought you'd relate. You have a very good possibility of getting the vibration going the way you want it to go. And your best possibility is first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, before there is any other momentum going. So we've been talking about this for a while. And Esther really listened. So she decided that she was going to wake up on that first morning and she was going to sustain her good feeling that she had awakened with. And she didn't make it until breakfast. Quite annoyed with herself, which didn't help. But the next day, she tried it again and didn't make it much past breakfast. Then she discovered that if she just wouldn't read her email, it would help. So her dominant intent became to sustain this feeling of well-being as long as I can. Just sustain it. And what she began noticing about the second week and third week and fourth week of doing that was that not only was it easy to find and maintain that frequency of feeling good, but there were all kinds of other benefits that began coming to her that these words won't give to you. You have to do it and find it yourself, because words don't teach. So we're just explaining to you what Esther experienced. She found a new clarity that was not within her before. She found a sort of stable ride. She remembered Jerry's story of shock absorbers. He used to tell a story about he got a new car. He was test driving it. It was a beautiful Cadillac and it was in San Diego. And the salesperson took him down a road that Jerry thought no nice car should ever be on. And he was amazed at the ride that that car gave him, even on a very bumpy road, because the suspension system, the shock absorbers were such that even though there were bumps in the road, he did not feel them in that car. And he used that analogy always, and it's the same analogy that we're offering to you here. When you find vibrational alignment with who you really are, and you sustain it for a period of time, what happens is you get shock absorbers. So even though the same sort of things may be happening around you, you might even see some of them, although law of attraction makes it less and less likely that you're going to participate on any personal level with anything unwanted once you begin sustaining this vibration of well-being. But the whole point of all of this, we don't want you to become so vibrationally snobbish. Esther says, I'm a vibrational snob. I like clarity and I will not accept confusion. But when you care about how you feel and you practice it until you're in this place where you are sustaining it more consistently, then you don't feel like you felt before. You know how when you first start knowing that you are the creator of your own reality, and you get feeling pretty good, and then someone says something that takes you away from your good feeling, and you think to yourself, I'm never talking to you again. I'm going to avoid you. You are a downer. But then you find yourself in a sort of state of avoidance everywhere. You can't watch television. You can't really go out in the world. You have to give your children away. You just can't barricade yourself into enough solitude to really maintain the vibration, and you give up so much by trying to do that. The benefit of alignment shouldn't have to pay the price of being a hermit. You should be able to practice your alignment until you're so good at it that you can go anywhere, be anywhere, with anyone, and maintain your vibration. And let's call that step 4. Because Esther wants to. So what it requires really is enough determination to focus first thing in the morning, and until you know that you've got it and you're able to maintain it, and then to simply watch what happens in your experience as a result of that newfound alignment and that newfound clarity.